Well, good morning, all my sweet friends. It's Keto Genie. Happy Saturday. Just thought I would come on and have a little coffee chat with everybody. I've got my morning dairy-free coffee, which has my perfect keto collagen, vanilla. I've got my favorite Ultimate Replenishers, orange, of course. And I've got my Burn AM from Prestige Labs. And I've got my cat, Joji, who wants to come rub on my feet. Right, Joj? Joji. This is what he does every morning when I'm having coffee. Like, it's without fail. Anyway, so if you follow me, you guys know that I am a big believer in morning routines, kind of setting up your mindset for the day and just kind of having a little bit of discipline about just kind of things you do to sort of get yourself in a positive mind frame. Because the weird thing is that you actually can change your mood. You actually can change your mindset. And so one of the things I've shared before is that I have sort of a list of people that I watch on YouTube that motivate me and that inspire me, right? And they kind of get me thinking outside the box, thinking about what the next steps are for Keto Genie, for myself. Like, that just kind of help me figure out what my purpose is for the next week or the next day or whatever it is. And so this is an amazing guy I've been following lately, and I'm watching this video he has that says, stop wasting your time on dumb things. So, and I think he's Gary V on Instagram. So if you guys want to follow him, he's really awesome. And he comes across as very raw, and he swears, and he's just this really like no bullshit person. But the amazing thing that I love about him is that he's basically telling everybody that it's the fear of judgment that is holding all of us back from sharing what we know, from sharing our passion, from sharing, you know, the things that we can put out into the world and bless other people with. It's like we're afraid of judgment. And, you know, he's basically saying he gives 0 F's about anybody's judgment. Like, and so I just find that so empowering and cool, because how many times have we let ourselves have an idea or have something and we share it with another person, right? Whether that person is our parent, whether it's our spouse, whether it's our best friend, you know, we share this idea that we have that we're all fired up about, right? And 9 times out of 10, what happens? Somebody shits on it, right? I mean, guys, hit me up in the comments if you know what I'm talking about and this has happened to you. If you had an idea or something and you shared it with somebody and they shit on it and they told you a million reasons why it would never work and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, and I'm just going to share for anybody who's new to my Keto Genie brand page following videos. When I started Keto Genie, when I started the page, my Facebook is my oldest social media. When I started that page, it was literally a handful of people who were doing keto, some friends and family members, my friend Beth that I was coaching, who, I mean, Beth has lost 150 pounds. Hi, Beth, if you're watching this, babe. It was just a handful of people. And so what would happen is I've always been a great cook. I've always been a chef, a baker. You know, I had a catering company when I lived in Boston. I have always been passionate about food and making food for people. And I definitely think it's my love language to make food for people and watch them enjoy it. But having said that, my Facebook group started out literally with about 3 or 4 people in it. And it was just me working a full-time job and getting all these texts during the day of, what do I use for a replacement for rice? How do I make this keto? And it, you know, I just thought, okay, I'm going to make this little group just for my family and friends, and they can just go on here and find my recipes. So that is how Keto Genie started, guys. That was almost 5 years ago. I think right now between all my social media, I have I think it's almost 6,000 at last count. But you never know, you know, people come and go. But that is how it started. That is how Keto Genie started and began and was born. And there are times where, you know, it's a lot. And I feel like, you know, like anybody who's self-employed, you're your own boss, you're trying to manage your time, you're trying to get your brand out there. You know, there's all these things that happen when it comes into play as your business rather than just a hobby or a side gig or whatever. But, you know, I'm going to just share with you guys a couple things that have happened recently that literally just fill my heart with so much happiness and fill my heart with so much joy. So one of the things is there's a local lady who messaged me and wanted to know ingredients for my donuts. She's a type 1 diabetic. So she went and had some of my Keto Genie baked goods. And she had I believe from her message, she had a bagel and a donut. And then she tested her blood sugar and she sent me a screenshot of her blood sugar. And I'm not going to mention any names for people that might not want to be tagged or whatever, but you know who you are. And she sent me a screenshot of her glucose monitor. I believe it's attached because she's a type 1. And her numbers were perfect. Okay? Her numbers were perfect. And this is the thing, if you know my story, if you follow me, you know that I reversed my dad's diabetes with a ketogenic diet. Basically reversed his diabetes and got him off pretty much all insulin except for small doses here and there. But essentially, his A1C is not diabetic. And so many of the recipes that I created as Keto Genie were for my dad, were to give him back those foods that he loved and enjoyed. But I didn't want to raise his blood sugar. And this is also a shout out to an amazing company that the sweetener that I use is Swerve. And the women who run Swerve, that company, their customer service, their mission, like just the whole way that they do business is like, that's like my spirit animal. Like I love their brand. I love the way they set up. I love the way they empower, other people doing keto. And they're such a critical part of my recipes. And the other one is that, so a while back, I discovered this protein brand. It's a powder, and it's called Protein Milkshake. And Protein Milkshake is just so awesome, where they want to help people who are low carb, keto. They use quality ingredients. And I say all the time, like it's my secret ingredient. Like I use it in so many of my recipes. But so basically, it's just like there's certain brands where it's like I feel like they have enabled me to take that passion and take that idea to like, okay, whatever it is. So I want to make the best keto bread ever, or I want to make the best keto cupcakes ever. And I've been able to do that also because of quality ingredients and also because of hundreds of dollars that I wasted on the recipes that weren't right, that weren't good enough. And a funny story I want to also share with you guys is, so I have like 2 keto besties that I've been close with ever since I started keto. And one of them lives in Alaska, and I will tag her. Hi, Miss Christy. And so she has been so gracious to test a lot of my recipes. And so lately she just made my mushroom asparagus risotto recipe. And she sent me this picture and she sent me this message and just said, like, this is amazing. Like, I'm not blowing smoke. This is like one of the best things I've made since starting keto. And she's been keto for, I think, 4 or 5 years, and she's down, I can't remember the exact number, but it's like 80 or 90 pounds. So, I mean, when I read that message, it was so funny. I was so pumped. And then the next day she sent a message, and it was a picture of a head of cauliflower and mushrooms, and she was basically making it again. So this comes back to finding your passion and like fear of judgment, and just kind of my theme of the day. When I started making this cookbook, so as you know, if you follow me, I have my cookbook coming out finally after all this time. When I started making this cookbook, I just was like, no, who's going to buy my cookbook? Like, this is just kind of a pipe dream or whatever. And it was due to all of my amazing Keto Genie tribe members, all the people who told me, well, I would buy your cookbook. I would buy it. I want all your recipes in one place. And so all of those people, I cannot tag all of you, but you know who you are, okay? And so then when I released the pre-order, and all these pre-orders came in, and I was like, oh, shit. Like, okay, I have to finish this cookbook. At that point that I did pre-order, the cookbook was not even halfway done yet, you guys. Wasn't even halfway done. So, when I started doing this cookbook, I mean, it's so surreal that it's finished, that it's going to be, I'm not going to give a date because it has to come from the printers and there's things that have to happen. So I don't want anybody to be disappointed, but I would say within the next month, this cookbook is going to be in your hands. And you know what? It's the fear of judgment, right? And that was a big part of my cookbook, but I had an amazing local person that I actually connected with, my graphic designer, Kristen. Hi, Kristen. And she is the person who really helped me put my ideas to paper, do the layout and everything. And this cookbook would not be happening without her help. And the one thing I know is that I made a decision that My cookbook maybe wasn't going to be the fanciest. My cookbook wasn't going to have these professional photographs, and my cookbook wasn't going to have like whole backstory behind every recipe. It wasn't. It's like my cookbook was going to be simple and straightforward. It was going to give you the critical information you needed on how to start keto, what's in my pantry, the brands that I use, and recipes that are awesome. Recipes that you're going to make for family and friends, recipes you're going to make for a relative who's diabetic you're trying to get off sugar and carbs, and they're going to have one of my heavenly chocolate cupcakes and have their mind blown and feel like, wow, I can still have a cupcake and keep my insulin down. I can still have a cupcake and lose weight and be healthy. That is such a powerful gift. And there is not a day that goes by that I am not humbled by the outreach and the love and support and all of you guys here locally, spread out all over the United States. I even have people in Canada, all over the place. It is something that I wake up every day and I'm so grateful and so blessed, because without all of you guys, without all of your love and support and you cheering me on and you giving me feedback of all the recipes I've already shared for free, which I've shared quite a bit of recipes for free, but you guys always tag me and you show me the pictures and you're giving me feedback and telling me like, this is the best chocolate cupcake I've ever had on keto, or I made these lemon bars and no one could believe they were keto. You guys, that is the fire. That is what fires me up. That is my passion. That is what makes me get out of bed every day. Like, that is it. And I don't know where this video is going. It's just a bit of a ramble, but I just basically wanted to share with you guys some thoughts. I wanted to give a shout out to this person right here, Gary, because he is right. It's like, who cares what anybody else thinks of you? If you have a passion, if you have a dream, go after it. And his thing that he says is that you can't write about push-ups. You can't write about push-ups. You can't do the research on push-ups. You have to actually do push-ups. You have to actually do the work. And I just am so thankful that I have Keto Genie, that it is my passion. I'm living my dream right now, even with the bumps along the way. Every single person who reads my posts, likes my posts, shares them, makes my recipes, tags me in them, all the amazing brands that I've been able to use and incorporate into my recipes that make my recipes better than anyone's. And is that conceited? Is that like, I don't know, is that correct? Is that like, oh, Keto Genie's full of herself? I don't think so. I've put so many years and love and time and basically redos and how can I make this recipe better? And I really feel strongly that my cookbook is full of my absolute best recipes. The absolute best recipes that are going to help you live your best life, get off the sugar and carb cycle, be healthy, be happy, be fit, and be around for a lot longer. So I'm going to wrap this up, you guys. My coffee is pretty cold right now, but ooh, it's almost 14 minutes, y'all. This is quite a long little coffee chat you got this morning. But anyway, go and check out this person right here. Go and check out Gary. I'm going to mispronounce his name terribly, so I'm just going to call him Gary V. That's his Instagram handle, by the way. And you know what? Stop caring about what people think of you. Stop wasting time on dumb things. And find out, what are you passionate about? What is the thing that you have to share with the world? Because you have it. If you're hearing my voice and you're watching this video, there is some gift that you have, that you've buried, that you've tucked away because somebody shit on it, because somebody told you that you couldn't do it, or you weren't good enough, or there's no money in that, or that doesn't make any sense, or you can't quit your day job. There's somebody that told you that. Maybe it was even just one person, maybe it was just one person who dumped all over your idea and you just tucked it away and said, okay, I'm going to settle. I'm going to go along this path that everyone expects me to do. And you know what? I hope that maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the one person who's going to encourage you to pull that idea, pull that out of where you've buried it and tucked it away and forgotten about it and told yourself that it wasn't going to work and that you're not smart enough or strong enough, or it's not worth it financially. Whatever the excuses, whatever the person told you to rain on your parade and make you hide whatever that light is that you're hiding. Dig it out, okay? Sorry, I'm yelling, but I'm getting fired up. Dig it out, you guys. You all have it. Every single one of you have it. And there is not a person on my page, there is not a person in my Keto Genie tribe that comes on daily and reads my posts and tries my recipes and watches my videos, even when they're, oh my gosh, 15 minutes long or of a rant. There is not a single person that is not here for a reason. Every single person that found me, that found my Keto Genie page, something brought you here. There's a reason why you found me. There's a reason why you're here. There's a reason why we've connected. And you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, you are worthy. You are worth it. There is something you've got that the world needs, and you need to stop fearing everybody else's judgment, and you need to put energy into that. Instead of dumb things that don't bring you joy and don't make you feel alive and give you passion and give you a reason to get out of bed in the morning, okay? So I'm going to wind this up with, as always, I am rooting for you. I am on your side. You got this. You can do this 100%. And if there's anything I can do to help you, if there's anything I can do to help you on your keto journey, if there's a question I can answer, if there's anything that is within my power to help you start or help you get back on, and if you've tried keto 3 times and failed 3 times, then try a 4th time. As many times as you have to dust yourself off and get back on and get back at it, it is worth it, and you're worth it. So I love you guys. Have a great Saturday.